Thanks for staying with us. Still on the issue of Mohbad, with us this morning is the Senate Committee on Entertainment Economy, led by the chairman, Senator Elisha Abbo. He paid a condolence visit to the late Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Aloba, aka Mohbad family. During his condolence visit, Senator Abbo, who chairs the Senate Committee on Culture and Tourism, stated the government's plan to establish a commission aimed at resolving disputes among artists. This commission's purpose is to prevent issues from escalating into irreparable and unhealthy rivalries. Joining us right now is the man himself, the chairman, Senate Committee on Entertainment Economy, Senator Elisha Abbo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mariah. Good morning.
Good morning. It was quite instructive to see that you went over to pay a condolence visit to the family. Why did you think there was a need for you to do this at this time?
Well, first of all, this is a very important issue that involves human life. Human life was lost, and the interest generated by these single incidents, both locally and internationally. If you look at the trend today, some artists, celebrities from UK, from America, all over the world have started keen into the protest in Nigeria, justice for Mohbad. It has gone global. And as a government official, we cannot continue to pay deaf ears to the cry and irrepressible voice of Nigerian people. I feel it is a duty, I am duty bound to come and condole the family for three simple reasons. One, it is my local constituency. Being the chairman of the Senate Committee on Creative and Entertainment Economy, is an artist, is an entertainer, is a creator. And we lost a colleague.
Yeah.
By all these things, is my colleague because we are working in the same sector. And I felt I should go and greet the family of a colleague that lost his life. Secondly, I am the vice chairman, Senate Committee on Youth and Sport. This is a young man, it's a youth. We've lost a very important young man, a boy who, if you look at the story, is actually a product of a broken home. Because if you look at the story, the father here and the mother here, so he actually come from nothing, built himself up and become what he is today. And we have so many young people out there that he has become like a role model to them, who actually are a victim of social problems in our society, but he was able to rebuild himself and give himself a name. Now we lost him. As a young person, I have to come down to Lagos to tell the Nigerian youth that you are not alone in this. I am with you, and government is hearing your cries.
All right.
Yes.
So obviously this has become, it has gone beyond Mohbad as a person. It is still getting justice for him, but the conversation has moved into, when we get justice for him, we must prevent this from happening to someone else. We must prevent issues of bullying. We must prevent issues where someone feels like there's
Intimidation.
There's nobody. I'm crying out on social media, but nothing is happening. And as much as I love the clamor now, I am worried about our ability to concretize it into beyond a movement, into like
Law.
We can make it a law, or find the law in the system already that can ensure that we don't have this kind of situation again. What is your involvement? What are you doing to ensure that you don't have to come back to mourn another person in another state based on the fact that something went wrong? We did not follow the due process.
I think this is a very important issue. Yesterday, I was in the car from the family, Mohbad's family, to my hotel room. And I entered social media, Instagram. And I was listening to one of his songs. I don't speak Yoruba. I asked someone, I asked my sister, Iyabo Ojo, say, what is he saying in this song? She said, I am crying. She said, I am shouting. He said, someday I'm going to rest. And I felt bad. This boy has been crying. This boy has been speaking out, but we were not listening. None of us were listening to him. He said, I'm tired of crying. He said, I cry tired. He spoke in Yoruba, and he said in English again, he said, I don't cry tired. And at the end of the song, he said, someday I'm going to rest. My problems will be over. And I got emotional. I said, so all this while this boy was crying, where were we? We were not listening to him when he was crying. He was knocking on our doors. Nobody was listening. And the society must begin to listen.
Yeah.
Our community must begin to work. Let me take example in northern Nigeria. Certain things in the north, we don't wait for the police to even take action. Community have to come together and begin to ask questions. Before you know what is happening, 2, 3, 4 people are sitting, Bale, the local chiefs, are beginning to intervene, begin to call for a meeting within that particular community and begin to talk about certain issues. I think our community or traditional institutions need to be strengthened.
Yes, absolutely.
Government, the establishment of these traditional institutions is not a poster thing. We need to empower our traditional leaders and begin to solve this small dispute, more especially among the younger populations who have no attachment to our traditional institutions and our history. The churches have to begin to talk. The mosques have to begin to talk. We need to come out together and come out with even our traditional dispute resolution mechanisms, so that we can act like a society. I think something needs to be done.
Thank you very much for just your support, I guess, because having government representative helps to push, when things like this happen. But you are the chairman, Senate Committee on Entertainment Economy, and you have been the chairman for how long now? For that particular committee?
Yeah, we've just been there now as a chairman. I've been there less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months, okay.
Yes.
So you're still very new, I guess, in that industry. And
yes.
I just wanted to find out that, yes, it's important to talk about communities' ballets, but in Lagos, very much unlike the North, it's not so grassroots oriented.
Yes.
So people like this need to be able to find institutions or, places that they can go and report if they feel that they are being assaulted, if they feel they're being, in some way they're under attack.
Yes.
And I'm wondering what the committee is doing or will be doing, or what was handed over to you? What was the plan concerning how people in this industry, artists in this industry, can find justice or can find protection, or where they can go that is a safe place for them, to have conversations around issues like assault or intimidation and things like that?
First of all, on this singular issue, because this is actually just beyond Mohbad. There are millions of Mohbads out there who are living in fear. In their homes, in their business places, in their working places, there are millions of Mohbads out there living in fear. No human being should live in fear. No human being should be running all over the place, looking over his back, turning his back, whether someone is pursuing him. Beyond that, let us look at particular question that you asked. What is my committee doing? The Senate, upon resumption, in less than 1 week, about 4 days from now, the Senate will resume. And within the first 5 days of the resumption of the Senate, I am proposing a bill for the establishment of Creative Economy Commission. Okay. If you look at National Communication Commission today, NCC, where you have companies like MTN, Airtel, Etisalat, and all over, they are registered under it. And a lot of other communities, companies, what do you call it? This Dotmark and the rest of them, this underground cable that has been buried to take internet to your houses and satellite in the air. These are private organizations. These are private companies. But there is an agency of government, a commission that's regulating their activities, supervising and even regulating them. Entertainment industry is a multi-billion-dollar entertainment industry. Now, there is no commission that is empowered with modern laws to actually regulate and supervise this very huge industry. In fact, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went a step further by establishing Ministry of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy. So he realized the importance of creative economy, and he created Ministry of Creative Economy. Look at Hollywood today in the US. Do you know how many films is being rolled in the US every year? Do you know how much generating to the US government, to the US GDP? Do you know how many songs released by artists? It's bringing money to the country. Now, in Nigeria today, we have Netflix, we have YouTube, we have Amazon, we have all over this social media and entertainment this thing that's actually permeated into our own into our system, but there's no specific agency of government that is regulating this industry. So, in the next 1 to 2 weeks, the first reading will go. That is for the creation of Creative Economy Commission. Part of this commission will be in charge of resolving dispute between artists and the record label. That is record label and their signees. It is a business. Sometimes business can go sour. Sometimes it's not everything that human beings manage well.
True.
Sometimes we may found wanting in how we manage our colleagues. Sometimes we even found wanting in how we manage even our own children at home. Talk more of a business deal. Sometimes it can go very sour, it can even go bitter. When it moves from sweet to bitter, where are we going to? Can we resolve to the street? As we have seen someone, Mohbad, I watched a video on the internet where someone took a cane and was flogging Mohbad and shooting a film on a wheelchair. Business went sour. Where will Mohbad go to? Where will the record label go to? Because record labels too need to be protected beyond sentiment.
Absolutely.
You establish a record label company as a business for you, and you hired an artist to be part of the record label. So the artists have to live according to the agreement. So this is exactly what we want to do so that we can have an agency of government where artists can run to or record label can run to.
Let me let Bisi jump in here.
So I like the idea of having that creative commission for conflict resolution. I think is a step in the right direction. But I know that some of these things take time to finally formalize and then established. And I'm wondering, in the interim, is it possible that, because we know right now that anybody who has a dispute, the first thing is to go to the police. Is it possible? Social media for people that want to go there. But normally you would go to the police, which Mohbad had done initially, you know, when he alleged that he was being bullied. So I'm wondering, instead of, okay, while we are working on getting that creative commission set up, can they have a table in the police to handle this sort of issues? So when it comes to the police, there's, you know, like you have the human rights department in the police. Yes, it comes to a table in the police that will In the interim, they are still police officers, but they are equipped with this sort of conflict resolution to handle the matter, while we now start doing the fine details of first reading, second reading, third reading, because we don't know how long this is going to take, and more people...
There are many disputes
There are
on
many
ground.
disputes on ground already that people are now seeing that it's better that we start resolving right now.
Yeah.
In the first place, thank you, my sister. In the first place, like I said, the issue of Mohbad is just one issue. There are so many issues out there. The police should be empowered to investigate issues, and no matter who you are, to invite you to come and write statement. Nobody's above the law. To write statement before the police, and the police must investigate it conclusively.
Yeah.
And there's how many tables will we open? How many desks do we open? You open desk for this particular sector, you open desk for this, gender violence, child this, this one for business. How many desks will you open in the police stations? That means there will be too many desks there. But what I believe is that I am yet to discuss to get documents from the police, because definitely Senate will investigate this.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We are not leaving it to the police alone.
Okay.
We will ask the police, when the matter was reported to them from the beginning, what did they do? Was there a complaint? Who received the complaint, and what happened that time? Because I believe if, like I said, I'm yet to see it, I am a #1 pro-police legislator in Nigeria. Virtually, because I know the importance of having a working police, a motivated police. We have not been having that, and that's why internal security has collapsed.
Right.
When we go back, we will ask what actually happened. I will come with a motion, and I will discuss with Senator Abiru, who is actually one senator from Lagos.
Yes.
And we will come together and discuss so that this motion will come, and we will also launch an investigation into this matter, because it's a Nigerian project now.
All right, let me ask you about your visit to the family. What did you see? What did you make of the entire situation? Who did you speak to? And what was said to the family at the time?
It is difficult to look into the eyes of a grieving mother. It is something that I don't want to be in the position of doing it. A mother lost her son. You are sitting next to her and then looking into her ears, into her eyes. You are right, your ears is hearing her groan as if she is giving birth to another baby, the pain that is in her. It is a very difficult thing. And I had to bear the pain there. If you look at a point, I was actually crying because the woman was in pains. You see, apart from just losing a son who is a star, a breadwinner of the family, the light in that home has been put off. The pain is there. And it wasn't so good. But we gave her assurance because she said that she's been threatened, she's under threat, and I assured her that nobody will threaten you, nobody will come here. Nobody. Nobody will come and threaten you. As a matter of fact, all those that are accusing, they're even on their own. So they don't even have time now to... Hausa people say, meaning when they are pursuing you, you don't ask, where's my shoe? You throw the shoe because you are now trying to save your life. You're not trying to save your destiny.
I like you, Senator, before I go to the other ladies, to touch on this issue of cultism and entertainment industry. What do you make of it? Because many believe that they are very almost interrelated in the sense that many cultists are financiers of many of this industry in many ways. Many of them have supported many of these artists. Even the cultists are involved in drug dealing. There's so many allegations here that we don't even know which is which. The investigations are ongoing. But from your own outward look inwards, what do you make of the issue of cultism and how prevalent it's almost been in this industry in recent times?
Yes, I have heard a lot of stories because when Yabo Ojo gave out a telephone number on the internet saying, if you have anything you heard anything, you saw anything, send it to this number. And the phone was just right before me, and it was like a live stream. Messages were going in, 1,840 to 2,000 plus, to 3,000 plus. So something is happening. So if there's a helpline where certain things can go, and without necessarily the sender being exposed to danger, means that a lot of revelations will be made. And my eyes opened yesterday. When she handed the phone to me, she said, see this. And I was going through some of those things. I say a lot is happening right before us that we don't know it is happening. Cultism, a situation where a gang rival with another gang rival, all bearing arms. First of all, it is illegal to carry arms. And government need to be hard, very hard on these issues. Drug peddling have destroyed so many lives. You will never understand the dangers of drug abuse until your relative or your friend become hooked on drug, becomes a junkie. A brilliant young man, a promising soul, is now reliant on drugs to survive. No longer eats food, just want alcohol, weed, and maybe sniff cocaine. And he's become something like this, a shadow of his former self. And you are seeing your loved one being wasted by somebody who imported drug into the country. It is painful. And NDLA have to stand up, and I believe Bubu Marwa is doing much about that. So,
you know, when people are talking, people have jumped on this, it's trending. So if you don't talk about it, they would even harass you if you, on social media right now. But we don't want just talks, you know. We don't want to just seem like, oh, we're part of it. But when the chips are down, everybody goes back to into hiding and protecting their own interest. What would you already said we'll be expecting that in the next 2 weeks, you'll push the bill.
Yes.
And that's on that perspective. Yes. You also said that there would be follow-up, so that I want us to be sure of what the viewers can hold you accountable for, that the Senate would investigate the police to get information about how that process went, to be sure that we are getting justice for him. The bill will prevent future occurrence. What about the family and compensations? Because he's left a wife, he's left a son, he's left parents, a younger sister. Like you mentioned, he was the breadwinner. There are GoFundMe going on. People are doing donations in different areas before we turn it into a business. How do we address that part? So you've addressed his justice, you've addressed prevention. Can we address compensation?
Yes. First of all, a case of murder has not been established yet. Let us not jump the gun. You compensate someone when there is an established commission or omission. In this case, investigation is still ongoing. However, on compassionate ground, when I went there yesterday, you didn't see in any news anywhere that I made a donation, but I did. I gave my own donation to the family, but it's not for news. It's not meant for entertainment. It's not a political thing. Okay. It is something like in the Bible says, when you are given an offering, your left hand shall not know what your right hand is giving. So that is biblical law. So when I went there yesterday, I gave my own donation. And somebody will now say, why are you saying it now? I'm saying it so that you can give your own. So I believe the third reading of the End SARS Fund will soon come before the National Assembly. The End SARS Fund was established even though the name will be changed slightly now, to cover other victims. Federal government is actually creating a victim, some sort of a victim support fund, where a non-victim of violence or any other thing could be able to access government funding to take care of their family. But before this comes into fore, you people are sitting on this table. The biggest form of giving is when millions of people come together to give their small penny. Assuming 1 million Nigerians say they are giving 1,000 naira each. Calculate 1,000 times 1 million people. That is a huge money. So you have changed the history of that family. Just imagine 1 million Nigerians. Each one of us give even 500 naira. 500 naira, 1 million people. You have raised a lot of money. But these have to be coordinated, and a committee have been put in place so that we can coordinate this giving. So I am calling on people like you, who are actually, we are seeing your faces every day, who people trust, who people can be held accountable, to come up with a clear-cut fundraising.
That was the
Senator,
question.
Senator,
Because they already had,
Senator,
like, I've seen 3 GoFundMe by 3
Yes.
different people.
There are children in the hospitals that need GoFundMe.
Yes.
People who need kidney transplant, as I'm speaking to you right now.
Yes.
When it comes to GoFundMe, trust me, there's so much people out there
Yes.
who can debate and say, why would I put my money here or not there? So it's not an issue. But it's important for us to use that symbolic to ensure that this industry changes based on what happened to Mohbad.
Yes.
But when it comes to GoFundMe, anybody can raise funds for so many things. Because trust me, if you want to raise funds, there are
My question was even
I
to
was
get
even going to-
how
okay.
to ensure that the money is being raised. Somebody with authority can say, I know that these people are raising funds. Can we be sure that it's getting to the people who
recipient,
actually,
really.
they
Okay,
are
let me come
raising
to
the
Mariam.
funds?
Yes. So as we know, the reason we're hearing about, Mohbad really is because Nigerian youth decided to take this up.
Yes.
And protest it and insist that government be involved in some way. There's some things that are out there, that I have picked on, and this is the fact that there's an autopsy that's been done. His body was exhumed, and people are asking for assurances that this will be done well and will be done right, that there will be no cutting corners or someone influencing anyone. You made some assurances earlier on. I don't know if this is something you can also assure Nigerians or the youth, that this will be done without any biases, and we'll hear exactly what the coroner finds out.
I want to assure you, you see, who will the police hide? We know those people that have already been accused on the social media. Sam Larry, Naira Marley, and the rest of them. That's what we see on the social media. It's all over, so I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just reading what is trending on the social media. And who among them will the federal government cover? None of them. You see, we must begin to trust institutions. I spoke with my big elder brother and father, Femi Folono, SAM. He wrote a letter to the District of Lagos to conduct an inquest. And as of yesterday, I spoke with Femi Folono. As I'm talking to you now, he's airborne, he's coming to Lagos. And he's coming on this issue. And we are meeting this afternoon with Femi Folono on this matter. So we are all putting our hands together to ensure that this is done within record time. But I want to also assure the youth, apart from the fact that the right thing will be done, I want to assure them that it will be done diligently.
Right.
When you rush police and they didn't do diligent investigation, when you go to court, the court will throw it out. Okay. Because it was not diligently investigated. So when there's no diligent investigation, there won't be diligent prosecution. So let us give them time to do a diligent work.
Okay. Right.
So I would like to hear your advice for the youths right now. I hear yesterday they had a peaceful protest. Protests have been going on peacefully. What would you tell them in terms of how they should conduct themselves this period, how they should wait on the reports that are going to be coming, and what more they can begin to do to ensure that we still, find a way to see justice?
I call on the youth of this country. Like I said earlier, I am not just the chairman, Senate Committee on Entertainment or Creative Economy, but I'm also the vice chairman, Senate Committee on Youth. Mm-hmm. I am a youth also. I won election at 38 years. And the youth should not take the laws of this country in their hands. We understand sometimes what protest can result in. Some bad elements can hijack it and it will turn into something else. Yeah. I'm calling on the youth, there's no need to protest. No need to protest. What you are calling government to do, they're already doing it. Go back home. Let's channel our energy toward raising funds for Mohbad's family. And I will also call, now that the man or the young man will not even be allowed to rest in peace because his dead body was exhumed. So that means there will be another burial. Mm-hmm. He'll be buried for the second time. Let us organize a befitting burial for him so that when the time comes to bury him again, we'll give him a befitting burial. And I call on Lagos State government, because of the interest shown in this matter, governor should name a street after Mohbad. That's what I'm calling to immortalize him.
Wow.
Okay. Really? Thank you very much. We have to wrap up with you, but I think you really shared with us your thoughts on Mohbad. I mean, as you said, it's a big issue. Nigerians are really talking about it, and it's quite impressive to see how the youth have been united in this. It's also important that after all is said and done, we also find a way to get some learning curves, which you've said, hopefully the commission, the Creative Commission would help in that. And also the issue of the NDLA, we think we couldn't touch on that because lots of drugs are being used, lots of, there are issues of abuse, intimidation, bullying going on. These are things that need to be addressed, and we're hoping that the commission in future will be able to help and address some of these issues. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Morayo.
That is all we can take on this segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.